Hello everyone and welcome to the Library Kitchen here at the Gloucester County Public Library. I'm Chris, and today, with Thanksgiving just a week away, we're going to be making a pecan pumpkin spice muffin with a maple sugar glaze. It's the perfect muffin for Thanksgiving morning with a nice cup of coffee. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 12 ounces of pumpkin puree, and I use Libby's for this recipe. And we're going to put that in our bowl here. Next, we're going to add 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. We're going to add 3 eggs beaten. And 3/4 cup of vegetable oil. And once that's in our bowl, we're going to take our hand mixer and we're going to beat this for about 3 to 4 minutes. So now that we've beaten our wet ingredients together, we're going to go ahead and move over to our dry ingredients. And for that, we're going to need another bowl. We're going to add 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. We are going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We are going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. We're going to give that all a quick whisk to combine all the spices in the flour. Once they are all combined and incorporated into our flour, we're going to add the dry into the wet. And then we're going to gently stir just to incorporate the pumpkin mixture into our flour. We don't want to overmix, as that will change the texture of our muffins. Once we incorporate the flour into the pumpkin mixture, we're going to let it sit for just a few minutes while we preheat our oven to 325. Once our oven is preheated, we're going to use a cookie scoop to fill our muffin tins. Now that we've mixed our wet and our dry ingredients and we don't see any streaks of flour, the last step, we are going to fold in a 1/2 cup of toasted pecans and fold those gently. I'm going to get my oven preheated and I'll be right back. We're back and we're ready to scoop our muffin batter into our muffin tin. Now for that, I like to use silicone cupcake liners in my baking pan. And I like to also use a large 2-ounce cookie scoop, and it really portions out your muffins almost exactly to where you want them to all cook evenly. So we're going to portion out our muffins. Nice heaping scoop into each well. And this will go into our oven at 325 for 25 to 27 minutes. So folks, the beeper just went off on the oven, so our muffins are ready to be pulled out. And these are looking great. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them over to our cooling rack, and then we're going to mix up our maple sugar glaze. So we're going to go ahead and move our muffins out of our tin and onto the cooling rack. Now, while our muffins are cooling, we're going to mix up our glaze, and that starts with a ½ cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and 1½ tablespoons of milk. Give it a quick whisk. And we'll let this sit for a few minutes while our muffins cool. So our muffins have been cooling for a few minutes, and we have mixed up our maple sugar glaze. So we can go ahead and pop these muffins out of the silicone tins, and they're really easy to pop out just by inverting. Nothing sticks to this silicone really. All right. We're now going to take a little bit of a little brush, and we're going to paint the tops with this sugar glaze. And let me tell you, these are the best muffins in the morning with a nice cup of coffee. It just says fall, Thanksgiving. It's perfect. All right. Folks, thank you for watching the Library Kitchen, and we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and you'll try one of our pecan pumpkin spice muffins with a maple sugar glaze.